Welcome back to SHE&HER. About few years ago, we had a lineup of upcoming GL series with titles, teasers, and trailers release shows that looked so promising, but sadly, many of them never got to see the light of day. It's honestly disappointing because some production companies clearly have potential, just not the funds. With how competitive the industry is right now, investors and sponsors have become really selective about which projects they back. I just wish a well-established company could buy the rights to some of these cancelled shows and actually bring them to life. Number 1. Untvers. This one was announced around 3 years ago, and I'm pretty convinced at this point that it might have been officially or silently cancelled. A few months back, they did post a short plot trailer, which made it seem like there was some progress. But since then, there's been no official update. The production's social media pages have been inactive, which makes it seem like funding issues might have stopped everything. I really hope Untvers eventually gets made because the story sounded so interesting and had me genuinely excited. Number 2. Sunshine in the Wind. I think this one has been silently cancelled too. It's been over 2 years since the announcement and trailer release, yet there's been no word from the production team. To make matters worse, the company reportedly terminated the actress's contracts, so it's safe to say this project might never see daylight unless another studio steps in to buy the rights. It's a shame, really, because it's a story I would have loved to see come to life. Number 3. Dream Mind. After releasing a pilot trailer that gained millions of views, it's still hard to understand how this series ended up in limbo. Since the pilot dropped, there haven't been any updates on the production for months. One of the main actresses has already been announced in a different series, which suggests that either a recast is coming or the project simply isn't moving forward. With so many abandoned projects like this, I really hope Dream Mind eventually finds its way to the right hands. Number 4. The Last Case. The last official update from Identity Entertainment stated that the series was still searching for sponsors. That announcement was made several months ago, and since then, there's been no clear follow-up. The production status remains uncertain, and several actresses originally linked to the project are now involved in different works. I really love the vibe and concept this series promised, so I'm still hoping it eventually gets picked up and made in the future. Number 5. 3 Minutes to Love. Many fans assumed the series was cancelled simply because the actresses stopped talking about it after the plot and pilot were released. I don't fully agree with that take. Personally, I don't think it's been officially cancelled, but the silence around it is hard to ignore. The agency hasn't addressed the project, and it's been over a year with no news. There haven't been any updates on the production status for several months, and none of the actresses have mentioned the series since the official pilot dropped, which suggests that this production might be facing a big issue, especially when it comes to funding. Anyways, I really hope that this one gets made because the vibe it brings is something I would love to see. Number 6. Be Mine. This was one of the very first GL series announced back in 2022. Since then, all the actresses involved gradually ended their contracts with SHE Entertainment, which already hinted that the project wasn't moving forward as planned. In October 2025, the author of the original novels confirmed that the adaptation rights had been sold to a different company. The good news is that the story will eventually be adapted into a series, but it will come with a completely new cast and production team. For now, we're still waiting for further updates. Number 7. Girlfriend Girlove. This series was announced back in 2021 and even began filming in 2024. Unfortunately, it seems the production couldn't continue due to rising costs. Since then, everyone involved has gone silent, and there have been no official updates about whether the project will resume or be cancelled. Number 8. Stuck With Me. Several months have passed since the series was announced, and there's been little to no progress since then. Actors under Tongwi Studio have spoken out about not being properly paid for their work on the company's previous projects. With no clear updates or signs of development, there's currently no indication that this series is moving forward. Number 9. About Galaxy the series. We never actually got to see an official plot for this series, and over time it became clear that the company behind it was no longer fully operational. After years with no concrete updates, several actors under SHE Entertainment began sharing on social media that they weren't being properly paid for their work. Eventually, the author of the original novel announced that she had regained the adaptation rights to the story. I don't know what is like or what it seems, but the story sounds like something interesting that I would love to see. I really hope that a well-established company like GMM TV will pick up the story and make it come to life. Number 10. Just nearby, this series was officially cancelled by Yes Please Productions shortly after the release of its pilot trailer. While the decision came quickly, considering the issues surrounding the project, the cancellation was probably for the best, but I still secretly hope that this will later get made with the right production. At the end of the day, cancelled and abandoned GL projects are more common than people like to admit. Some fail because of funding, others because of poor management, and some simply disappear without explanation. What makes it frustrating is that many of these stories had real potential and genuine audience interest. Hopefully, with the growing demand for GL content, more experienced and stable studios will step in, pick up these lost projects, and give them the chance they deserve. Until then, all we can do is remember them and hope they eventually find the right home.